Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Player Issue Podcast, Cave Sessions, Episode 6. I am your host, Aaron Warwick. Got a very special guest here with us today, not just the lovely Emma, as always, but we've managed to drag the great Matthew Ward in with us. Matty, how are we?
Good to be here.
Just as exciting as Em.
Give me a little bit to warm up.
Matt, how are we? What have you been up to today? What brings you to the cave?
Been working. Pretty boring stuff, and wanted to come and see my friend and get some dinner, but apparently I'm not allowed to have dinner until we do this podcast. So that's where I'm at, man.
We absolutely held you hostage and said you are not eating until we've done the podcast. So that's
just
fair.
speaking truth. Speaking truth here.
Emma, hello.
Hello. It's not midnight.
Oh, okay. Emma, show us the time, because this
can't
is
really reach the camera
this is a
from
new
there.
record.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
I'm going
What-
to your camera.
So no one can see you right now.
Yeah.
So, focus on you. So hang on, we'll flick over. This is the current time.
Hurry up.
8:51. That's the worst photo you could actually have for the time, because you've got bloody
It was my elevator
light
music.
right behind it.
It was my elevator music I was using.
Anyway, it's 8:51. We did come out here 8 o'clock. Or was it earlier?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
To be fair, this is the first time we've had more than 2 people at the table. So it's something a bit different. We're going to figure it out how we're actually going to do it. But I also didn't have any microphones, so that doesn't help. Well, I did have microphones. I just didn't know where they were. So we dug around the cave for a while to try and find it, and we got there eventually. Only problem is now Matt has to hold his microphone.
Poor form. I did get a Snickers though. So,
Yeah, I'm dirty about this Snickers, because 2 Snickers were bought out. 1, empty. Second one, which is mine, empty. How many did I get out of those 2, I wonder? Nada. What do you got to say for yourself, Em?
What's yours is mine.
You bought me the Snickers.
You took too long to eat them. Snooze, you lose.
I'm not happy. So we're off to a riveting start here. The Snickers are gone. I got none of them. And we finally got the microphone thing sorted out. The only issue is Matt has to hold his microphone. Cable is a little bit short, actually. So
I do apologise if it doesn't come through good all the time, but I'll do my best to.
do you know the best way to combat that, Matt? Is just speak.
I can do that.
If you talk through the microphone, it'll come through.
Fair enough.
You've got one of those voices that's deep and loud. I reckon you'll be fine.
Cool beans.
Going to get some rippers out of him today, I reckon. Em, any feedback from you at all from the show last week or on the weekend or anything?
No. Oh, people liked my rage.
Oh, yeah?
Was it Dermot? Is that his name? That
Yeah.
came around here?
Yeah, so Dermot McKay, shout out to Derm, good listener and viewer of the show. He reached out to us and wanted to join us in the cave because he come from Whoop Whoop. Can't remember the name of the town. It's something nuts, but out near Ravensthorpe. Ravensthorpe? Yeah, Ravensthorpe. That's like 6 hours away, right? Yeah, so about 6 and a bit-ish hours away. He wanted to come out and join us because he obviously wanted to come and join in on the Freo sale on the weekend. And came out earlier in the afternoon, so he had to have something to do until the lineup inevitably started. So he wanted to come have a look at the cave and hang out with us for a little while until we took off. And yeah, he had a bit of feedback for you about the show, didn't he? God, you're exciting.
He just said he liked Emma's rages.
So did he say that was his favourite part of the show?
I
or
can't remember.
It was pretty good.
Last week's
I
one?
did enjoy it, yeah. I liked it.
Anywho, so
Anyway, that was about it.
that's it. So we did have quite a number of people come up to us at the Freo sale on the weekend, just saying that they watched the show and enjoy the show. So shout out to all of you who did that. And I apologise with the blank looks I gave you quite a few times. I should probably know half of you by now because I speak to you often enough, but I don't actually look at your Facebook profile photos. So half the time I didn't know who you were. So sorry about that. But we do appreciate you all coming up and saying hello, and we do hope you had a good time. And we thank you for listening to the show, of course. We do have some hats still available. Matt was wearing one a matter of 5 minutes ago, but he seems to not be anymore. There was a hat here a second ago too, but that's now also gone.
I think you stole that
Oh,
one.
over there on the mannequin.
Oh, yeah. So the mannequin trouble was we had a bit of a fight with that, but you can see it over the back there. I keep getting my head in the way, but he's over there in the back. We have 5 of those left. 6 maybe? Can't remember. There are a few available if you want one. $25 delivered. And we'll sign it for you. I won't. This is worthless then. Matt will even sign it for you. He's a part of the show now, so Matt will sign it for you. He's got a good signature too.
Pretty famous. Pretty famous.
Matt, I remember back in the day, and I said it on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, that we would sit at Chicken Treat about 2 k's from here, actually, and we'd just talk shit
In the
all
window.
afternoon.
Yep.
And this is our opportunity to do so
Yeah.
on a national or worldwide level.
I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited. I'm not really sure where he's going to go, but dream big. That's what I'm saying. Dream big.
Could be good. Could be very, very bad.
Looking at Em's face, she looks nervous. Look at it. Look at that face.
Em's always nervous. I swear, every time we start this show, it's a very slow burn. I'm very sorry. Eventually, we'll get Em woken up. The beast will wake. The rage will come out.
Got no notes.
Yeah, we'll see.
No
No notes.
rage.
You don't need it.
No rage notes.
We'll poke the bear.
No rage notes.
So that was it. There was really no feedback other than from the sale. So, if you would like to give us feedback, please do so. Go and give the show a like, comment, subscribe to the show on YouTube where you're watching it right now, and just tell us in a comment what you like about the show, what you don't like, or if you'd like to go onto the Facebook page and leave some lovely comments. That would also be nice. I do, however, want to give a shout out to Matthew Anthony Langley as well, our mate from Bunyip.
Yep.
Let's wait for you to say it.
What, Bunyip?
Bunyip.
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 Our mate from Bunyip, who always comes to the party. I put out a post last week about the fact that Spreaker are going to charge us about $400 odd very soon to host the show. And Matt came to the party and gave us $50 as a donation to the show and a thank you. So
Good stuff.
I guess we do have feedback because Matt did give us a little note for that as well. So as you can see right now, you can see the note on your screen that Matt left us, and we appreciate it. If anyone else would like to donate, it's pinned to the page on the Facebook Players Podcast Facebook page. I can't speak English today, so that's not a good start. So yeah, appreciate it, Matt. We thank you very much. So as we have mentioned a few times, the Freo end of season sale did happen on the weekend. What an evening it was. It started at 3:00 in the afternoon, believe it or not. So I was planning on getting there about 11, 12 p.m. at night. 11 p.m., 12 a.m. That's trippy. And I got a message or a text message or a photo saying that there were already people lined up at 3:00 in the afternoon. So my thought process had to change pretty quickly because my anxiety from that whole week was just nuts, through the roof. I was feeling awful, couldn't sleep. It wasn't fun. So as you can imagine, when I got that message at 3:00 to say that people were already there, here I am thinking, shit, I'm going to miss out on everything. So I got home from work. Dermot was here. We had some dinner, and I'm standing there. I must have just looked like the most, just nervous piece of shit, an absolute wreck to Em, I reckon. No?
You look like that all week.
Fair enough.
That's all I heard is someone got dinner.
Yeah.
Well, sort
When
of.
do I get this
So-
thing called dinner? What is that? Dinner?
I didn't really eat it. So I think Em made 3 tacos.
Might eat this
Normally,
potato.
what was that?
Might eat this potato if we don't get dinner soon.
That's in your spot to you, thank you. And there's no addition to it
Or
next week.
halvesies.
Except for he's now got legs. Well, sort of a sitting stand anyway.
He's got a bloody water bottle cap up his ass.
Yeah, he had a hat last week, so it's just turned around.
Hmm.
So yeah, I had me 3 tacos, but I didn't eat them. I ate maybe a half a taco, I reckon.
You ate 2 tacos, and within a matter of 5 minutes, you threw them up.
Yeah. So the anxiety was just nuts.
Jeez.
So at work, I think that day as well, I threw up multiple times, and then I got home and tried to eat, couldn't, threw it up. And I think Em's just said, you might as well just leave now because
Oh, sick
what
of
is
So you're hearing him throwing up?
fair enough. And what's the point of me being there if I'm just going to be sitting there tapped on the table? I've got to go. So the decision was made at 8:30 when old mate Jack Gregory sent a message and said he is on his way there now as well. So that was it. We're on our way because Jack's a great man, and I wanted to sit with Jack for the night and have a good yarn because he's fantastic value. And luckily enough, when I got there, he was next to us, so worked out well. So our evening started at 9 p.m.
That's crazy. Like, bloody crazy.
I never thought that after seeing the Port Adelaide, what they do, the fans of the Port, when they do their locker room sales, I never thought that we'd get to that point where we'd be camping out overnight. I know we made jokes about doing it last year, but I thought, no way it's going to happen. I did actually have a look at some swags and thought, oh, maybe I'll just get one just in case. But I'm like, nah, not getting that early. So didn't end up going through with it. And then, yeah, it happened. So
Well, next time around, hit me up. I got swags.
So I was number 10 in line by the time I got there at 9. So that's mental. Because the Saints sale had 10 o'clock. So I think Patrick was the first one there at 10 o'clock. Had a good laugh there. 10 o'clock, he was the first one there. I don't think anyone else rocked up till many, many hours later. And so I thought, maybe Freo won't be that bad. But no, it was. So 10 people at 9 o'clock. But no one else showed up until about midnight. So it's just that core group of collectors, which is the interesting part of it, is you kind of work out who really is the hardcore collectors at that point because they're the ones that get there real early. There was a bloke rock up with a swag, and this thing was like Mount Swag. This thing was huge. It was so big he didn't set the whole thing up. He got it half set up. It's like, nah, this will do. So he was actually sent in by a mate to basically keep his spot on the line, which is interesting. M's off. Keeping you awake, Em. So, yeah, Mount Swag rocked up at 12. And then from there was maybe 2 more that rocked up and then nothing until about 5, 6 a.m. next day. So you can see just how hardcore some of these people are. But it was worth it. It was crazy to say that because, like I said, I could have got there at 5 a.m. and been 2 people deeper in the line, 3 people deeper. And would it really have mattered that much? In the long run, probably not. But for how much fun I had that night and just chatting shit with other collectors and just having a good time, it was worth it. So I would definitely do it again. And I'm sure we will next year. Hopefully there's not a lot more people there too early because I do not want to be getting there before that time again.
That's crazy, man. Like I was talking to Em before and I was thinking in my head, oh, yeah, you get there early, maybe 3, 4 in the morning. Em's like, no, he got there at 9 o'clock the night before. I'm like, oh, fuck. That's dedication, man.
Dedication or stupidity? That is the question.
No, dedication, mate. Dedication. Unlike other people, I think you've already had your rant about this, but if you want something, mate, you gotta go out and get it, don't you? Go on. Do you wanna?
No.
You wanna jump in, mate? You wanna? No. Okay.
It's gone.
She's a Zen Emma now.
Oh.
She's all calm now. It doesn't have a rant
I had
lined
a
up.
Snickers. I'm happy.
Oh, that's so good.
Not you when you're hungry. I'm not hungry because I had a Snickers.
Damn. Should have smacked out of your hand.
I'm freaking starving, but I guess it was my idea to do the podcast now before dinner, so I guess, yeah, it's my fault. So I'll starve. It's fine. It's only going to be a short one today, so let's keep it short, shall we? Anyway, So the sale was a lot of fun. We did get in or let in about 10 to 7. There was a few changes this year. So they had security come and hand us out all tickets. Essentially, they were tickets, numbered tickets, so you could walk into the actual lockers in line. Nobody actually knew that though. So you're all handed this ticket, and it was, what's the ticket going to be used for? Is it going to be used for when you get in, you could only get one of special round jumpers? Was it going to be something where you then had your place in line to go back for seconds? No one sort of knew the whole idea of these tickets. It's a good idea though, because there was people that rocked up late who were given tickets post them handed out, who then were forced to wait for the others to go in. Created a little bit of an issue though, because we had some people in our vicinity who a girlfriend rocked up quite late. And so she was given ticket number 59, and we were in the vicinity of 11, 12, 13-ish. So by the time we got through, we were good. So the first 10 we got through. Look back, no one else was coming behind us. The security had stopped him at the door because one guy got through, was all good, but then his girlfriend was stopped because he had 59. You can't come in, you have to wait. So the 10 of us that got through kind of had the room to ourselves for an extra, let's say 15 seconds, which in that environment is a lifetime. I'm not joking. So I didn't know what to do. It's the same as it happens every year. Literally, as we get in the door, I go to the toilet, start throwing up because I can't explain it. I really can't. It's just the nerves and the anxiety just gets to me. And then a couple more times I threw up, and I was looking at the time. I was like 5 minutes to go before we get let in. I need to go for one more chunder. Off I go. Funny thing is, there's only one toilet in that particular spot. The only thing I could think of was the amount of times, the amount of people I've seen come in and out of that dunny. What are they doing to it? They are absolutely wrecking it, I can tell you. And I'm going in thinking, I've got to stick my head in that just after someone's just come out of there. And all that made me think was, I need to throw up real bad. So I walk in, someone's in the toilet. All right, well, sorry. Go to the sink. Just let off this almighty, just everywhere.
I threw up.
Last year was the same problem. I walk out. It only happened once last year, which is quite weird. So I walked in the toilet literally a couple minutes before, like as I came back out, we were walking in. So I come out and I've just got shit dribbling down my chin. It's everywhere. And I just see the whole line just turn and look at me and like, are you all right? I'm like, oh God. I threw up. Like, it was bad. So I knew it was going to happen this year. I didn't expect it to happen as much as it did. But yeah, I chunted 6 times in that last hour and a bit.
But didn't you also go take a shit and then go, I need to throw up? And then you're like, I'm going to have to shit. Throw up in the same toilet.
So I made a huge mistake there. I walked in needing to throw up. Well, no, I walked in needing to do a shit first. And I'm like, all right, I'll need to throw up shortly, so I should just kind of push it out, right, as you think you would. But I didn't. I just sat down because I'm like, all right, let's just get this over and done with. Sat down, did my business. It wasn't pretty. It was bad. Then I stood up and thought, oh, I need a chunder. Turned around and I've just gone, oh my God. And of course, that just made me want to chunder even more. So I'm throwing my guts up, trying to lift my head out of the toilet, but it smelt so bad, and my head's right in there that more's just coming out. I just couldn't get my head out of it. I did hear someone walk in and just go, oh God, and then just walk straight back out again. Because it must have just sounded like a crime scene. It was nasty. So, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Good times had by all.
Sure you want to join us next year?
Sounds like fun.
It didn't seem like anyone else had that issue. I don't know why it's just me, but Yeah, like I said, only once last year. This time, multiple. 6 times in the last hour is just insane. But tried to time it. Started to feel ill with 3 minutes to go. But as soon as those doors open, I'm good. Like it's just that weight. I think it just kills my stomach, and I've just turned into a mess. It didn't help that I probably had about 30 minutes of broken sleep the entire night. To be fair, that doesn't help at all. It just makes you feel a bit sick.
It'll get you.
We did have Uber Eats the night before. That was fun. Not M. M wasn't the Uber Eats.
No.
So I made the decision that I was going to get some Uber Eats, and I made me order. And then a couple other people started making an order after that because they saw that I was going to get some Uber. So I guess you open the door and everyone opens it, runs through. Couple of blokes got the same bloke, Muhammad. Good man, Muhammad. Dropped off Macca's to one of the blokes, and then he went to take off. And then he must have pressed his little Uber button to say it was delivered, that one, as he's going to take off, and just gone, what the hell? So he slammed on his brakes, and he's handed the package out to the next bloke. He must have been loving that. So he just handed two packages over in the same spot. So easy money for him. So yeah, we had a good time having Uber Eats. I think I had a shitload of stuff. We got spring rolls and chicken kebabs, and
Why are we talking about food?
chicken wings.
Yeah. Can you
Making me
stop?
hungry,
Hey, what did Em say last week? Don't be a dick.
Hey, you forgot something.
He's stolen that from
He
me.
has.
I've got something.
Yeah, he did. The feedback.
I
So
apologize.
you did get feedback last week on the weekend from the show.
I didn't get. It wasn't feedback. It was a question.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sort of. Yeah,
Has anyone been a dick?
that's it.
Like, yeah. I was just like, no, surprisingly not.
So someone came to you in the locker while the sale was going and just said, "Has anyone been a dick this week?"
Yeah, I was sitting against the lockers on a mountain of whatever it was.
Do you know what's messed up?
What?
So we're skipping forward a little bit here. Every year I keep telling you that you're sitting in the wrong spot because the line always curls where you're sitting on the
Yep.
left-hand side of the lockers you're walking
So
in.
I sat on the opposite side, and the line curled around that fucking side.
We're in the complete opposite direction this year. I swear they just see where you're sitting and just go, let's go that way.
Good chat though.
Huh?
I chat to people the whole time while I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
The amount of people that are like, "Have you got? Did you get?" And I'm like, "I'm sitting on them. Does it look like I've looked at them?" If I move, they're gone.
This
I'm a
is,
retaining wall.
this is the problem is we get into that point. So we'll circle back again. Once we got in, I think I said to you, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to run. And you're like, see ya. I'm gone.
Oh
Just
yeah,
bolted.
I ran. I saw Matt Harvey and I was like, cool. Game on.
I don't know why I thought it wasn't going to happen, that everyone would sprint. Because I thought that you'd walk through the hallway and you'd get to the locker and then start sprinting. But no, as soon as he
Is
got
it that
through...
manic, is it?
Yeah.
Just like...
Do you know what though? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish there was like a voiceover when Matt Harvey ran in, because Matt Harvey was trying to hand his ticket over, but like they kind of got caught midway, like of him trying to read the ticket to Matt Harvey trying to run, but trying to get around the security guard. That I could just imagine, like, you know, on that White Chicks movie where he runs in, he's like, "Move, bitch."
Move, bitch!
And I saw that and I was like, "Are you going to run?" And you were like, "No, it'll be fine." And I was like, "Well, fuck it." And I was gone.
Yeah. She's not
I was
wrong.
gone.
So I was like, nah, I'm just going to walk. She's like, well, see ya. And bolted. I was like, oh, shit, my own wife's taken off. So
I'm not with you.
I guess that was
So I
my...
technically got into the sale before you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you 100% did. No, the video cut off just before you rounded that corner.
Which
So.
is a shame because I came around the corner and I was just like, but he cut me off.
Yeah, unfortunately. But so yeah, you bolted. You definitely got in well before me. You turned right, I turned left. That was the plan. The plan was just, I'm going to go straight for the Monday jumper on the locker. So I did. I bolted straight for the Monday. It was a freaking warm-up top. So I was a bit disappointed by that. Grabbed the warm-up top, turned around, had no plan whatsoever. And looked over. I could see Brayshaw was still on the locker. And I've just realised that there's nobody else in the room. There's only the 10 of us in the room. And I thought, what the hell is going on? I'm like, okay, have they just stopped and at 10 people, that's it? That's all you can get in? So I kind of just dawdled over to the Brayshaw jumper on the locker, grabbed it, and all of a sudden the rest of the flood just happened. people just kind of piling in. It's like, oh shit!
It
So
went from 0 to 100 very quickly.
yeah, super quick. So I'm like, all right, let's all go now. So my next plan was to go back to the 250 retro Starlight rack. So I saw a bunch. There was no retros left. Like in that very short period of time that I went from the Brayshaw locker, turned left and walked 5 steps to that rack where all the retros were held. They were gone. Like that fast. It was insane. But I really just wanted to get a long sleeve Starlight jumper. As I'm walking over, I didn't see any long sleeve jumpers at all. So I thought, oh, damn it, I've missed my chance. But as I've just kind of just gone to have a look through, there was a bunch of people already at that rack, so there was no way I was going to get a chance to have a look through. I've just reached over and grabbed, and I've just seen it had long sleeves. Oh shit! I've managed to score myself a long sleeve Starlight. At this point, I didn't give a shit what number it was because I didn't think I was going to get anything good. So I grabbed it and just walked off. Didn't look at it. I thought, all right, whatever it is, I just have to be happy with it. Because the next plan was just to bolt over to where M was in the middle, because it's kind of what you thought over the last couple of years. You kind of realised that putting all the premium jumpers in the middle. So that's what I did. I bolted back to where she was, and she's standing there like this, like, look what I've got, let's go, hurry up. I thought, why do I have to hurry? What's she doing? Because I didn't realise that the chick was standing there saying 2 only. So Em's got her 2 Monday jumpers in her hand, and she's telling me hurry up because there's more Mondays there. So I've run over, and I've grabbed my other 2 Mondays, and I've seen Michael Frederick's long sleeve Clash Indigenous jumper, which, if you don't remember, video's up now, with the tap back from Freddie to Lockie Schultz kick the goal in an amazing win against Melbourne at the MCG. So I've got this jumper in my hand, and this chick's like, no, 2 only, put it back. Oh, shit, okay. So I put it back. I turned around, turned back again. She turned around. I grabbed it. I'm sorry. I broke the system. I did, however, get rid of one of the Mondays. So it evened out. Somebody else wanted a Monday. So yes, I almost cheated the system. Almost. But everyone else did too. The amount of people that had a shitload of multiples of these jumpers from that premium rack, and they were told you can only have 2 only. That girl who was standing there trying her very best to stop people from grabbing more, she just walked away because there was nothing she could do. It was just chaos and mayhem. So she tried. And so, yes, I almost did break the system. I would have had to figure something out and give one back. But then somebody wanted a Monday, and I actually had 2 of the same jumper. So it worked out. I gave him the other Monday. So I did only get my 2. Calm down. Em got her 2. I got my 2. So we had 4, yes. But there's 2 people. 2 per person equals 4. Don't forget that. Do maths, please. Thank you before you berate me. So I was stoked. I still got the Freddie long sleeve, cracking jumper. And from there, it was just, all right, let's just walk around the room and see what other cool shit we can get. So we did. And ended up grabbing 51 jumpers in total.
51.
So, yes, it was a few. And the up thing, sorry, I didn't want to do it, but I've broken the rule, my own rule. Don't swear. Em does it every week. It's my turn.
Saying you've stolen a swear word. Please remind me why I'm here.
I'm pretty sure you said it already, haven't you not?
No.
Oh, well, I fucked it up.
He's done it again.
I don't remember where I was now. Okay, so...
Fucked up thing.
Yeah, I don't remember where I was.
Yeah, 51 jerseys.
51 jerseys, and you know what? The fucked up thing.
All right, so the fucked up thing was... I still said it. I copped it after I put up my post. Look, when I grab all these jumpers, people expect that I'm going to have a lot of them, right? So I do spend quite a lot of money. That's the thing, is I spend a shitload of money and I give it back to the club. Club is happy because they made 20 extra grand this year than they made last year. So as far as they're concerned, they don't care. They line the club's pockets. They're happy. I'm happy. Everybody who was there was happy. Like, this is the bullshit. Is at the end of the day, you go home, you put up all your stuff that you got, and you're stoked about it because you're super happy with all your jumpers. You just want people to be happy for you, I guess, or just enjoy them when you put them up. Not some dickwad saying, "Oh, you couldn't leave any more for anybody else." Ridiculous. No, it has to be one person, and then someone else say, "Yeah, I agree." Fuck you both. You're both blocked. I don't care. You're both banned from all the pages that I run because you're both dickheads. You're not part of the actual collecting community. You're just absolute twats who just like talking shit because you're 12 years old and you got mummy's credit card and she wouldn't let you buy a five. Moving on. My rage is done today.
I suppose I'll just go home.
You are home.
No, I'm not. I'm in the cave.
Yes, this is another entity. This is not actually a house. Ding, ding, ding. Anyway, that is my rage done. I actually thought I would drag that out a lot more than I did, but didn't. So, yeah, it just pisses me off when we sat there for the entire time. So we stayed until closing, which we always do, just because it's just one of those days. It's over so quickly. Like you spend all that time sitting there, and it's over a lot faster than it seems. So we stayed the whole time, and we watched everybody leave, and there was 4 full racks of jumpers still there that people could come in at any time and they could grab them. And there was some crackers there as well. There was plenty of $250 premium jumpers still there when we left. There were Switter jumpers. There was Lockie Schultz jumpers. There was great stuff. So anybody that has a whinge and says leave them for other people, why don't you come in and you buy some your fucking self?
Or how about you just show up to the fucking sale?
Yeah.
Because you weren't even there.
Yeah, that's another thing, is having a whinge when you didn't actually make the effort to come, which we've said the last couple of weeks, that if you really want something and you wanting to get something from the sale, he'll make the effort to get there. Like, simple as that.
Yep.
I know a couple of people, friends of mine, collectors, and unfortunately didn't get a chance to get there. Are they whinging about it? No, because they know that if they were there, they would have got a great opportunity to get some jumpers, and they would have, but they couldn't make it, unfortunately. They're not going to whinge about it. They're just going to try and get some jumpers post-sale.
Or this person could have just messaged you and said, "Oh, actually, I really wanted one of them, but couldn't make it to the sale. Would you consider selling it?" And you probably maybe would have considered it, but
Here's another thing about that, actually. So I have 51 jumpers from the sale, and a lot of people think, oh, he's just going to go and sell them anyway. No, not one of those jumpers. Okay, let me take that back. Not one of those jumpers would I ever go in there and grab and think, how much money am I going to make off this, or can I sell this or that? A few of those jumpers I didn't grab for me, not because I planned on selling them, but I had other people ask me to get them jumpers. So not everybody I could accommodate because it's just nuts, and the amount of people had messaged me while I was in the line. I can't help you all, especially if you ask me for a brace or a 5. It's never going to happen. I've got one brace myself, so I'm sorry, but
also don't ask you to get something and then complain about what that person got you, because we didn't have to get you shit.
yeah. So I did grab a bunch of stuff for other people, and they were super appreciative of it, all but one.
All but one. You know who you are.
Ungrateful.
Yeah.
Maybe you rock up yourself next time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, we won't get into that. But so I did grab a bunch of stuff for other people who asked if there was a possibility that I could get something for them, then they would be grateful. No one sent me cash and said, get me this. Like, it was just, if a possibility, then great. So I went in not having a list. They weren't on my list to say, I've got to get this for these people. I'll just grab stuff. And then when I come out, I can work out what I got. And if I got something that they wanted, sweet, I can pass it on to them at the price I paid for it, BT dubs, not at an inflated price. M's completely lost in the basketball behind me.
Just watching some good basketball going on around here.
My mistake was being a Sacramento Kings fan and putting on the Sacramento Kings game on the big projector behind me where I cannot see it, but Matt and Emma can. And it looks like they're having a good time watching it. It looks like it's in the third quarter.
Yes.
Yep.
Good game.
And we're smashing them. So that's fantastic to see. So while they continue to watch that, I'll continue on the show by myself. I don't even know where else. Anyway, yeah, sorry. So I did grab things for other people. So even though I had 51 jumpers, they weren't all for me. I grabbed 2 doubles, which I passed on the Monday, as I said. And I also got 3 doubles. Double of a Lockie Schultz Indigenous, which I did put up on Facebook saying that none of my jumpers were for sale or trade, except potentially I'd move on a Lockie Schultz Indigenous because I got a double. So saying that doesn't mean I plan on upmarking it like some moron. No, I won't say that. Some bloke on eBay who went to the sale, who does not support Fremantle, grabbed a few high-end jumpers and puts it on eBay that same day for a very inflated price. We'll come back to that because there will be a question about that later. But how I feel about that, we'll get to. All I did with that Lockie Schultz jumper was say that, hey, if anyone's interested, I have the spare, so get in contact with me. And I did have somebody who played footy with Lockie who said he'd love it, and he was willing to pay more for it than what I paid. And I said, no, I'll look after you. So I don't think I've actually messaged him back yet, but I'm going to message him back, tell him that this is how much I paid for it. Pay that plus postage, and it's yours. Because I don't need to make any money off it, and that's not what I was there for. I was there collecting all those jumpers for myself because those cabinets behind those lads, they're all full with all my jumpers. So, yes, I do collect them for myself. Some I'll do, maybe potentially move on in the future if I ever want to get more or whatever. But that's my prerogative. I own those jumpers at that point. I just don't plan on selling them or trading them as soon as I get them. So, again, we'll come back to that later. So some great stuff happened during the lineup that we had for those 12 hours. But again, we'll come back to that during the questions because there will be a few of those questions coming up. But anyway, I had a great time. I spent $6,000. One of the questions, yes. So I actually spent $5,740 on the day, and then came back 2 days later and spent another $260 to get it to exactly $6,000. So just had to do it. But loved it. And this is the thing we do is we save all year for these particular sales. So people think that we just go and buy them to go and make money off it just by, coming up with this money out of nowhere. It's crazy. We have to save up for this shit. We're not millionaires. We go and save up all this money across the year to spend on the stuff we love and then enjoy them for the next 12 months until the next sale where we start throwing up all over the place again. So I had a great time. I know everyone else did that was there. Em joined me at night time in the line, come down, brought the dog down, brought Milo. We ran around the oval a bit. She took a good couple of shits on the oval. It's quite funny because a couple of lads went out and started kicking the footy afterwards. And should we tell them? Nah. They step in it, they step in it. Big ovals, that's all right. But yeah, she nutted twice at least.
It's because everyone kept feeding her nuggets.
That's true. Jack fed her nugget.
Jack fed her nuggets. He's got a soft spot for her.
Yeah, doesn't everybody? Yeah, and then Em came back later on in the morning, joined me again for the remainder. So to be fair, a lot of people will probably say, "Oh, Em only came for the last 2 hours of the sale, the lineup." She was there for 2 hours earlier in the night as well. So in total, she was there for 4 hours. So that's a lot more than most people that were there. So again,
I don't know why you need me today. You've had a rage. He's told someone to not be a dick. I've lost my role.
Matt's just leaning into the show. He's like, yeah, I know how this works. Just steal everyone's catchphrases.
He's been here forever.
Oh, thing.
Just doing his thing, dreaming about food. Can I interest you in a potato?
Senor Spud, thank you very much.
Toothpicks don't go down very well, though.
No, that may hurt a little bit on the way down. Okay, well, that's going to do it for the sale. I think we've had enough sale talk for now because we'll come back to it, the questions. Let's move on to new jumpers. So there are only 2 new leaks so far, within the last week anyway. Essendon have a new jumper, exactly the same sponsors, exactly the same manufacturer apparel, manufacturer of the apparel. God, Lord. It's not even that late, and yet I can't speak. Under Armour still doing the jumpers. They have their old logo down the very bottom, so it's gone back to that logo rather than the anniversary logo. Bit disappointing. I actually quite liked the logo from last year. And on the Clash jumper, it's got a really weird pattern. I don't know if it's just a picture. It doesn't look like it. It actually looks like in the jumper is just this really odd pattern. I don't know why Essendon can't do a black sash. they have to keep going with the red sash with just the black outline. Looks a bit boring, dated now. So I wouldn't mind seeing them do a black sash. They have gotten rid of the really weird stitch side panels, which I don't know. I quite liked because actually on the player it looked good. Like it made it more slim fit. I don't know. Can't explain it, but on the players it looked good. On the ground or just hold up, it doesn't look real good. So can understand why they did it. And North Melbourne's new jumper is exactly the same home jumper. Still made by Puma. Obviously the Puma collar, which we mentioned last week, which has changed. They've just got a kind of a crossover collar, and their clash jumper has changed this year. So the bounding roo is slightly different. I like it. A lot of people don't. I guess probably more a traditionalist and North Melbourne fans might not like it, but I quite like it. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's it. That's all of the new jumpers that we've seen leaked this week, since last episode anyway. So let's move on to our next segment. Em, what is it?
Is it Mail Day?
It is Mail Day.
Mail Day.
Mail Day.
I'll never get it as good as Andy.
Nobody ever will.
No one ever will.
All right, Emma.
Please don't throw that one at me.
Do it.
I'll throw this one at you first. You ready? Nice catch. Oi! We forgot. We didn't even talk about them.
Oh, it's too late because they're all on the floor.
Yeah, so there's already this on the left side. The two on the left are already on the floor before we
Left on
started.
the floor.
Yeah, so the Michael Frederick long sleeve that we talked about earlier is on the floor. And I won't even bother talking about the other one because without seeing it, you don't even know what it is. So it's pointless talking about it.
It's so crappy it's on the floor.
Behind M's head is a Humphreys basketball jersey. What that is, and before you open that up, I just want to talk about this. Sorry, but it's important. It is.
But it's Mail Day.
It is Mail Day, but it's important and it's something that needs to be mentioned before we go too far. So behind M's head, oh, don't mess with my camera, is an Isaac Humphreys Adelaide 36ers game worn Indigenous jersey. Why is this so in the media right now? Is it important? Matt, maybe you can explain it. Maybe not. Try your best.
Well, I believe today he's come out as being gay.
So I don't really know of too many players of any sport that have come out during that active days as being homosexual.
Yeah, active as an athlete in that system. I think he's one of the first. I think for us in Australia, I think he's the first one to come out like during playing, I suppose.
So good on him. I don't think he's going to have any trouble. I know in previous years he might have. I mean, he might cost some sledges on the court. If they do that, they're just a shit bloke. I mean, I'd say most players probably won't do that nowadays because
I don't think anything
it's
changes.
changed. The world's changed. He's still just the same bloke as he was. He's a great bloke. I'm stoked that he came out because he's leading the way for people, and hopefully we see more of it. I can just about guarantee you that he's not the only one that is gay in any professional system. So, you're right, Em?
I just knocked everything.
Well, I'm still good, so that's all good.
The whole table just...
So that's why that jersey is up there, is because Isaac Humphreys come out today, announced he is gay, and just basically wanted to spread the word that it's okay to be gay in professional sport and not feel weird about it. So good on him. Congratulations. And I'm glad I actually have that. So it's pretty cool. He plays for Melbourne United now, but still a cool jersey to have. Emma, back to you. It is Mail Day. What have we got?
You've ruined Mail Day. Not with what it is. You could have done it before Mail Day. Or after Mail Day.
It didn't ruin Mail Day.
Just means you've got to say Mail Day a few more times.
Yeah. What is it, Em? Mail Day. All right, Em, what do we got? It's in a St. Kilda bag.
Do you want the receipt?
No.
Last time it was an invoice. This time it's a receipt.
Receipt. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Oh, here you go. You're close to the camera. You get to hold it up.
I'm already holding something.
I'll hold that. It's going to be a bit weird, but...
All right.
I'm definitely holding the microphone.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a long sleeve 2020 St Kilda jumper. I won't say who it is just yet, but so it's got the Dare sponsor in the middle up top there, which is the only way to really know it's 2020. Difference between 2019 was X-Blade still. So anyway, 2020. Was that the only year they used ISC 2020? I feel like it was.
Yep, sure. Yep.
No one knows what's going on behind this.
Yeah, I probably should have thought about it before, to be honest, but pretty sure, and I'm sure I'll put a little disclaimer down the bottom if I'm wrong, but I think 2020 was the only year that Saints actually used ISC. Obviously, they used them earlier on, much earlier on, but post X Blades, I'm pretty sure this is the first one they had. I've always loved XCD. I'm talking about work now. I've always loved ISC. I just love the feather material they use. Long sleeve, fantastic. If you want to just pull it up a bit as well so you can see the rest of it. Nice long jumper. Matt, if you want to reveal the back, you can tell who it is.
Make you guys work for it.
Not doing this well.
Doing it properly. Look.
All right, so it is a Rowan Marshall long sleeve Clash player issue jumper. Rowan Marshall, for me, I've sold him a PS5. Basically, that's the story. He messaged me on Instagram wanting me to sell him a PS5, being as where I work. He knew I had them. So here we go. So I've come to have a few chats with Rowan. So nice to get one of his jumpers. I actually got one of Jack Steele's a couple of weeks ago, which was also another guy I've sold Player Session 5 too. So I guess there's a little bit of theme here as to why I've collected a couple of Saints jumpers recently. Matt, if you want to pull it down a bit, you'll be able to see the sponsor, RSEA, and I think that one is heat press, is it not? Yep. Is there anything under that one? Can you see through the back of it? No, nothing underneath. So they've just heat pressed that one on 2020. Yeah, so COVID year, this is when they started doing those heat press, or just any sponsor above the number. So that is why it'd be heat pressed on. And then the following years, they started to sublimate. So yeah, that is Royal Marshall 2020 long sleeve Clash. That is number 1 on the mail day list. We only have 2. So I got a little bit excited. We did have a third. I opened it earlier today. I couldn't help myself. It was a Freo one, so no one's going to want to see it anyway. Or Matt, I'll show you later. He is wearing Freo. I didn't even think of that. Okay, we'll move over to the next one. Are you ready for this?
Don't throw that.
Yes.
I'm definitely throwing it. It's not heavy.
I know it's not heavy. It still doesn't mean it's not going to hurt.
It may hurt. All right, you ready? I'm throwing it.
I hope it makes like a thunk because it hits
Right.
me.
I'm going to try and do it as gently as I possibly can.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
was
a
magical.
good catch.
That was magical.
Okay, well, it's not easy to hide it because of the bag. Quite clearly has Carlton logo all over it. This one's from the recent Carlton auctions, the biggest auction ever, as they called it. It was a pretty decent auction. There was quite a lot of cool stuff on there. Comes in a tin and also comes with a COA from the AFLPA, which means it took forever to arrive. Good job. Senior Spider's got a workout hat. Sweatband.
Yeah, sweatband.
There is Senior Spud's edition for the week.
It's a good looking headband.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading the COA over. So it's got a tin M. Anything special about the tin? Is there anything on the tin?
Well, that's dented.
Dented. So this is the thing about these friggin' tins. Is it's all well and good to give someone a tin for what they spend on, but let's be honest, when do they ever arrive not damaged? I'd say incredibly rare. It's all well and good you trying to hide that, but that camera can see every single thing you're doing under that table. So
Damn. So it's seen everything.
it's seen everything.
Oh,
So we're gonna have a chat later. I'm married this weekend. Are you? Oh, Matt's not. I'm guessing M's not either.
Scandal.
Oi, all right. So
damn, no.
now we really have to have a
that's
chat.
going on right now.
All right. Well, Matt. Hopefully Brooke doesn't watch this.
Can you hold my piece?
It's a bit smaller
All right,
than I'm
Matt.
used to.
What have we got?
I hear that a lot.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again, please, Em?
I wasn't talking about you.
There it is. So this is a Carlton Respects jumper. I believe it was to do with domestic violence. I want to say, and again, I'll put up a
I have a
disclaimer
feeling
from
that's
wrong.
right.
So it's a domestic violence,
Violence.
domestic violence awareness jumper. So they were trying to create awareness for domestic violence. I guess victims.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm
Victims to
not
speak out.
entirely sure how, but I'm sure there's a reason, and I'll look into it and I'll put it up anything I can find about that reasoning. The orange is obviously a color that represents it.
An orange ribbon.
The orange is great, so I had to have one. I missed out on the match worn auction, so I was pretty happy when a few of these came up at the end of season, biggest auction ever. And I had to have one. So this is from round 16 match against St Kilda at Marvel Stadium. Turn around, Matt, and you can see whose jumper it actually is. So it's a Matthew Owies. Why I got it, I don't know. My mate Hamish, who I hope watches the show, is a big fan of Matt Owies. As a matter of fact, I think he may even be a player sponsor. This is why I pretty much had to go after this one. There was a few players there, but this one actually went the cheapest. I think I got it for $330 in total. So I was pretty happy with that. And I think it just looks fantastic. It is signed as well, so that's pretty cool. Thank you, Matt. It looks great. I like the orange. It really pops.
I'm pretty sure the domestic violence ribbon is orange.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, by now everybody else will be aware of that as well because we'll put up something to do with that. So, that was mail day for the day. Mail day for the day. I do have a COA here as well for that, Matt. Always, so that's pretty cool. And I also have
put that
my receipt from Saints Locker, and you can see how much I paid. So, if anyone is looking to get something from the Saints, because there are probably still some available, you're looking at $175 for the long sleevers. It could just be because it's a Rail Marshall. I don't know, but not cheap, but
Not expensive.
not too bad. No, I'm not complaining. I had to have it, like I said, and I'm pretty happy with it. And Saints were really good. So even though I messaged them a few weeks past the sale, they were quite happy in helping me get it. So yes, thank you, St Kilda, for that one. Now it's time for viewer questions. And today is going to be read out by Matthew.
I'll do you a swap. Have my microphone because it'll be easier to read out questions with my mic.
As we do a microphone switch.
Just have to lean forward.
That looks stoked. Oh, Cinder Spud.
Oh, we've made a mistake. It's just a mess now.
Now I've got to sit awkwardly, Em.
Do you want to swap chairs as well? Do you want to?
Why do you hate me?
Do you want your microphone back? Look, don't.
What is happening?
Rage.
What did you just do to Senior Spud?
Nothing.
Why is he dead?
Because he won't sit on his stool.
Sorry, buddy.
All right, we've gone way off track here. Viewer questions. Matt is going to read them out to us. Make sure you're right up close to that microphone. At least point it at you. Probably a good idea.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
All right. Thanks. All right.
What the hell was that?
Potato.
Oh, no. Senior Spud is very slowly dying in front of our eyes.
Mate, I'm going to cook you.
He's already
I'm
cooked.
not sure I want to eat that. It's a bit late.
I never knew.
That'll do. I'm
What's
not
up?
touching him anymore.
All right,
What have
from
we got?
Jeff Butcher.
G'day, Jeff.
You were 8th in line on Saturday.
Incorrect.
Did that cost you the chance in a jumper you really wanted? This is number one.
All right. Yeah, I'll answer that first. Should I?
There's three from him, so I don't know if you want to.
I'll answer that first. First of all, I was number 10 in line. Thank you, Jeff. However, he was going off a picture, which you'll see on screen now, I actually don't know how he come up with 8th out of that. I guess he just went around the circle and just counted how many people were there.
There's also a couple of people laying down.
Yeah, so I was number 10 in line. Did that cost me a jumper? Probably. If I was going for one of those jumpers, then definitely. Because I think, like we mentioned last week, number 1 jumper probably was a long sleeve 5, which was there. It was real.
existed.
It does exist, and someone did get it. And they weren't number 1 in line either. So even if I was number 1 in line, I wouldn't have got it because my thought process was always go to the Monday locker anyway. So did it change anything? No. I would have still ended up with exactly what I ended up with, I think. So being there 6 hours after number 1 in line, I don't think it hurt me at all.
I feel like you've already answered the next one too then. If you could have bought your way to position 1 from where you were in line, would you have paid to get to number 1 in line?
Okay, so obviously I did answer that sort of the first question. I would just straight up say no, knowing how it ended. Would I have bought my way to the front before that, not knowing what I'd end up with? It's really obviously quite hard to answer because it's already happened, and trying to look back in retrospect is difficult. But even on the night, I was pretty happy with where I was because I was pretty confident in everybody that was there. I kind of knew what they were going to get. So I was pretty confident where I was going to go. And it worked out exactly as I thought. So would I pay if I didn't know all of that going into it to go to the front of the line? Probably, yeah. If there was a specific jumper that I realized that everybody was after and I wanted it as well and I had to have it, yeah, it would make sense to pay. So couldn't tell you what I'd be willing to pay. I'd probably only offer them $100 and see how that goes. But yeah, that's probably it. I don't think I'd be too crazy and offering like $500. No, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't have. I can tell you right now, I probably wouldn't have gone more than $150 to go to the front of the line. But knowing what I knew, I was happy with where I was at number 10. Never even considered anything like that. Yeah, I think that's your answer.
And what was your best story you heard in line waiting?
There's a few stories, but I think the stories were actually made on the night. There's some beauties. So while we were waiting, and it was a long wait, we decided that we didn't have to stand in the line to keep our spot. Everyone was, we were there for long enough that if you walked away, you went and walked around the oval for half an hour. A lot of people actually went for a sleep. And I'm not saying they went for a kip on the floor, because plenty of people did that. I did. I had a double camp chair, so I tried to curl myself up on the double camp chair and sleep. But a lot of people who were there with other people would take turns going and sleeping in their car. So there's a few people who'd go off for 2 hours, sleep in the car, come back, switch over with the other person, go and sleep. But I feel as though people could just go and do that, even if they're by themselves, go and sleep in the car for an hour, come back. People wouldn't bat an eyelid because all your shit's there. It's like, whatever. I mean, I probably wouldn't suggest doing that next year, though. Just coming along, dropping your shit and walking off, because people will start getting pissy. But the 10 or 11 people that were there, everyone knew each other, knew you were a legit collector, and you weren't going anywhere. You were just going to go chill in the car. Everyone's like, that's kind of cool, because it was fucking freezing. Like, holy shit. I think it got to about 8 degrees, but it felt a lot colder than that. So I absolutely didn't blame him. Dermot, who was sitting next to me, he went off into his little mini truck a number of times because he just was freezing his ass off. He was wearing shorts, like short shorts. So, and he only had a little blanket that Em gave him, a little Lion King blanket, which I put up a picture of now because it's fantastic.
And he had one of my towels, which are actually my business towels that I put on my massage table.
Yeah,
because he was that cold.
Thank God he did, because that man was freezing, and he had multiple times had to go off and try and lay in his truck to get some warmth because it was so cold. So some of those stories,
Commitment.
yeah,
That's what you have to do to get something.
Yeah, it was.
Don't whinge and bitch when you don't have
it. That's another thing, right? Like people that rock up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, yeah, cool, good on them. They rocked up nice and early, so good job. But then people will come in and say, "Oh, it's a bit chilly." fuck off. You guys have no idea. We were all sitting there just shaking like a leaf. Like, oh my God. By the time we hit 5 o'clock, we're like, oh, warmth. Thank God.
Come at me.
And they're like, oh, it's freezing. No, you got no idea. Yes, we committed. We committed hard. But so the stories, right? We'll get back to it. It's hard to stay on track when I'm this excited and spinning your spuds down again.
By the way, we have a growth.
Oh,
We have a
do have
growth. We have a growth.
Got many growths.
Moving on, sorry.
Moving on.
Sorry.
So we went over to Dermot's little mini truck. I don't know what I was doing. I was going over there to get another blanket or something out of the car and saw Dermot curled up in a ball. He gets out of his car and we stand there having a chat for a while. And I just hear down the road, this is something you don't want to hear, and that's just some guy just going off chops at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Last thing you want to hear is, yeah, fucking so-and-so, fucking no. When there's no one else there, it's just him walking down the street, getting closer and closer. Ah, Christ, here we go. He's definitely going to say something. And he's going off. Where the fuck am I? Fucking someone tell me. I need fucking somebody help me. Oh, just ignore him. And I can hear him right up close in my ear at this point. You not fucking hear me asking for help? Fuck ya. I just turn around and I'm not in the mood at this point. I'm already tired and really cold. I just turn around. What do you want? And you not fucking hear me asking for help. What do you want me to do about it, mate? I probably should have calmed down at this point because this dude was definitely on something. He is known as the Cracky. We gave it to him back, and he had no idea where he was. Had absolutely no clue. He's gone on about where am I? I have no idea. And I said, mate, you're at Coburn Arc. Like, just look at the freaking sign. It says it on the wall right there. Where the hell's Coburn Arc? You're at the Fremantle Dockers headquarters. Who the fuck's the Fremantle Dockers? This is going well at this point. Okay, well, you're in Coburn. Where are you trying to go? Oh, I'm trying to get to Beelia Drive. All right, we'll go up there, turn right. There's Beelia Drive. What's up the end there? It's the train station. Oh, I just fucking came from there an hour and a half ago. He's on a freaking circle all the way around trying to take a shortcut to get wherever he's supposed to be going in Munster. I don't even know where Munster is. But he's taking a shortcut, which is taking him in a complete circle back to where he started an hour and a half later. So he is obviously in a great mood at this point. And I've just gone, mate, just go away. Leave us alone. And so he's walked off from us over to the group of people that are standing there. I thought, oh, beauty, he's going to walk in amongst all this lot and he's going to shit his bricks. No, he just walks right in the middle of them and starts having a chat with every single one of them, asking them for darts. I've got all my phone and my keys and everything just sitting there on the chair. I'm thinking, oh, shit, I hope he doesn't grab it and run. But anyway, that was a cracky. That was entertainment. We didn't have much entertainment on the night, so that was the best lot of it. Until about, I reckon, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning when this happened. So Jack, good old Jack, had wrapped himself in this blanket. I didn't actually see what he was wearing at all the entire time I was there. Had no clue because he's wrapped in this blanket and he looked like a moth. He was an absolute
But
moth.
it was the colouring of the blanket too. It was this like checkered, browny coloured thing. But the way it was flowing when he was walking, it was like flowing outwards, so he looked like a moth. It's the ending of the video for me though. The moth part is funny, but he just turns around and he's like, hey.
I planned on taking quite a few videos and photos of the night.
It's the only one we got.
to, and I actually picked it up and I took a photo and thought I just saw the way it was flowing. I was shit, I could turn this into a video. It was perfect. The way it flowed was just brilliant. It was and from there on, he was known as the moth.
He's now the moth.
The whole night, next day, everyone was asking how the moth was. So Jack has a new nickname. He is the moth. We look forward to seeing him next year at the sale as well to continue the story of the moth.
Legacy of the moth.
It is. So for me, the stories were made on the night, which I think was the best part of camping out overnight. It was just the fun and good stories we got to create. So thanks to Jeff for that question.
We've got Brett Attrell. How much did you spend on the sale? You've kind of already said that. But...
So $5,740 on the day. I did actually budget.
That was actually Blake Morale.
Blake Morley.
Is it Morley?
Morley, yep.
Yeah.
So
sorry, that was his question. Sorry.
that's all good. Blake Morley, thank you. I did budget $5,000. I went in with 7, but I needed some money for Disneyland tickets, so I couldn't spend all of the money. But I did have $7,000, and I was like, no, budgeting for 5. This is it. This is all I'm spending. We did calculate. So we sat there going through all the jumpers.
Poorly.
Turns out, yes. We calculated and we got to, I think, 5,400? Something like that. 5,300 or 5,400. So I was like, all right, 300-400 over. We'll live with that. Got up to the counter and went through it, and we seemed to miscount by 300.
No, but in saying that, they had red dots on the tags and orange dots, and the red and the orange were very similar.
Yeah.
So we got them confused.
Yeah, that confused me a bit. I don't know if I was looking at some of the players thinking there's no way this is worth $250, so I thought maybe it's worth 30, and then maybe I got confused there. I can't remember now, but somehow I cooked it and had to start transferring some money because I thought about it the night before. I thought, oh shit, how am I going to do this? Because I didn't bring cash with me this time. Last couple of years, I've taken a couple of grand cash and done it that way. Didn't take it this time, so I was like, okay, I'll have a look. And all of my cards had a $2,000 limit. So I thought, all right, well, how many cards do I have? Luckily, I had 3. So I transferred $2,000 into one card, $2,000 into another, and then $2,000 into a third.
One of the cards wasn't activated.
First 2, no worries. Chucked them through. And then the third one, scan it, beep, decline. What? What do you mean? The money's there. I just transferred it. Try again. It's probably just taking its time. Beep, decline. Oh, shit. What is happening? Like, can't just leave $1,700 worth of jumpers sitting on the counter and walk off. So I'm like, all right, let's transfer some money over to M's card. And it's just a big kerfuffle. And eventually got through. M paid for it. And we moved on. But mental. So
I came to your rescue twice. No, 3 times. I ran.
Please elaborate.
I ran
Okay. Tick.
in the line and got in before you.
Yep.
I don't run for nobody.
That's still number 1. Yep.
I got you the Mondays.
Yep.
And I saved you with my card.
Okay, that's fair.
Winner, chicken dinner. Mate.
Yep. I did buy you lunch, so that made up for it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. So on the day I spent 5,740 and then 260 a couple of days later. So $6,000 in total was my expenditure. Blake, thank you very much.
I went in with a budget of 0 and spent 50. No, 45.
What did you buy?
Yeah,
So I want to know.
a pair of
People
shorts.
want to know, what did you buy?
Well, so
Oh shit! I shouldn't have asked that. Here comes the rage.
So here we go. I got a pair of shorts. Just a pair of black shorts. I don't know how much they were. They must have been less than 20 because the total was 45, and I thought the women's jerseys were 30.
Yeah. Okay. So it must have been 15.
Yeah. And I originally grabbed a women's Pride jumper, and I was sitting on it, and Matt Harvey said, "Oh, I didn't get a women's Pride jumper," and Erin's like, "Oh, Emma grabbed one. You can have it." And Matt Harvey did say to me when I handed it to him, he's like, "Oh, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Well, Erin's kind of promised it to you now, so it's all good. Like, no worries." And I just glared at Erin.
Absolutely glared a hole through me.
And then he's like, "It's all right. I'm sure you can grab a nut." Oh, they're all gone. I'm sorry. If Matt Harvey's listening to this, it's not your fault. My husband's just a jerk. Dick.
Yes.
No, I don't care. I ended up getting an Indigenous one in the end anyway. Who'd I get?
You did. You got Gabby O'Sullivan's season 7 Indigenous player issue jumper.
I just wanted a women's jumper. I just thought the Pride one was pretty because of the colours. But then Erin's like, "Oh, you probably give the wrong message wearing it anyway." So.
Not necessarily. It's a cool jumper.
Yeah, I just like the colours of it, but it doesn't matter. I still got a women's jumper. I just wanted new underwear anyway, so.
Yeah, so my bad. Funny thing is, somebody actually returned. So they did a match worn auction for these Pride jumpers a couple of weeks ago. And apparently some people did get some that looked very well worn or quite worn. I didn't. Mine looked unworn completely. I did manage to get the second one and compare them, and they both just looked unworn. So one of them's obviously match worn, and she didn't do anything during the game, obviously. Not enough work. So they were obviously washed as well because they smelled sparkly. So another person thought the same thing, that they'd got a unworn jumper, so they returned it. They would have paid 300 plus for the jumper. The the funny thing is that jumper was actually on the rack at the sale
For
for $30.
$30. So that same person could have bought the same jumper for $30.
Yeah, he could have. He didn't, but he could have. I know the person who did, because I was like, oh shit, there's a good story about that. So that's hilarious. There was actually quite a few there that were signed. They would have only signed those jumpers that were sold at the auction. So there was probably 3 or 4 that mustn't have been paid for from the auction that went into that sale. So they were selling it 300 plus at the auction, not being paid for or being returned, and then $30. So a tenth of the cost of the auction. So it doesn't always work out the auctions, but just hilarious that he could have actually picked up that jumper at a fraction of the price. But he didn't. He wasn't smart enough to do it. But oh well, that's hilarious. Don't even know if he got a women's jumper. I did. I got a bunch of them, and I was stoked.
I don't really pay attention to what he got.
Yeah. So, not M, because you're not asking questions today. Matt, question number 4, maybe.
Yeah. So this is Brett Attrell.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think Senior Spud looks like Marty the Monster?
We'll put a picture up of Marty right now. Hold up Senior Spud nice and close to camera. He's looking worse for wear every day. So there's Marty the Monster, and this is El Senior Spuddo. He's looking very much worse for wear.
He's got growth.
He does have a growth. You can sort of see that on the bottom
He's
right.
a little willy.
He's looking shocking. We'll try and put some big ass eyebrows on him and make him look more like Marty next week as well.
Yeah, good
if
luck
he's
with that
still
one, didn't
alive. Thanks, Brett. I know Brett has another question. That wasn't his only question. So, Matt, give us the other one after that.
What are your thoughts as a Fremantle man of the flipping of the sale Guernseys immediately?
Yeah, okay. So this is why I kind of try to move on from earlier so I could kind of answer it here. But it's a difficult question because it is frustrating that we're standing there 10th in line and we're there all night long. And we may miss out a good jumper or a player that we want. And it's grabbed by somebody who's not a supporter of that club with the absolute pure nothing of thought of anything else other than to flip it. You can't be mad at it. It's too hard to be mad at.
I was just about to say, at the end of the day, they got there first. They got it first. They bought it. It's theirs to do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
It's shit, but they bought it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I said that those exact words on the comment that, obviously Facebook goes nuts as soon as this sort of shit happens. My comment was as simple as that. It was, it's shit, but here's what it is. Because it is. And
they don't always sell them for the price that they ask them for anyway.
no, well, they didn't. I know Brayshaw's was up for $750, and I know it sold for $480. So, but as far as he's concerned, he made $230.
Well, that's it.
So he did well. But obviously, someone's happy to pay $480 for it. Who probably, well, I know this person did go to the sale, but there may be someone who was unable to get to the sale, wanted a Brayshaw, and was happy to spend $480 on it. I mean, how can you be mad at that? Yes, the person is making good money out of it for his Saturday morning efforts. I don't know what time he got there. I don't remember seeing him that early. So, as far as we're concerned, being there for 12 hours, putting in all that effort, that hurts because we're not there to collect and resell and make some money off it. However, the same token, we're there and we're happy with what we got. So we can't be pissed off at it. There's just no point. You get yourself rolled up and annoyed about people flipping stuff, and where does it end? You're just going to get annoyed about everything. So
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a different agenda.
Yeah. I mean, that's
like
it.
you said, if someone's willing to pay the money, because someone might not want to sit out for 12 hours, still want it, and that's kind of the little bit of a surcharge, you know what I mean? For not wanting to go and do it. Like, I don't care. I'll pay extra for me not to have to do it.
You were saying that you would pay, say, $100 max to sit at the front of the line.
Yeah.
So, say that jumper was $250. Add the $100 that you were quite happy to pay. That's $350. So, it's almost someone's paid that person to sit in line for him.
Yeah.
Not sit in the cold.
That's
not,
a wide view.
you know.
To an extent. suppose, if you want to justify it, maybe.
I can honestly, hand on heart, say I wouldn't go to the West Coast Eagles locker room sale if they had one. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And go to that sale with the intent on grabbing stuff to purely flip and sell it. That's just not my MO. I wouldn't do it. But I mean, I am a collector as well. So chances are if I was going to go to one of those sales, I'd go and just buy some shit for myself, keep it. Doesn't mean I wouldn't potentially sell it later on down the line. It's just that I'd be there for the purpose of just grabbing some stuff that's cool and keeping it in my collection for a bit. May get bored of it at some point, and fair enough. To put it up like immediately, I think is a little bit of a kick in the balls for some people, but you're also, profiting on the fact that it's excitement. Everyone's pumped about this sales just happened, and when's the best time to sell it? Probably straight away. If you hold on to it a bit longer,
While people have the money.
People have the money. People start finding
They
them
missed out on
elsewhere,
it.
and yeah, so it's a hard one to be angry at. It's understandable that some people are, but in the end of the day, they bought it, they own it, they can do what they like with it. Do I go to an op shop thinking, oh, I better not buy this because I can't be seen flipping it? No. A lot of times you'll go to an op shop and find a great deal and you know it's worth a shitload more. You're not going to go up to the counter and to the little volunteer and say, hey, this is worth a lot more than this. You shouldn't be selling it for this. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to be a good pet. It just doesn't happen. You find a great deal at an op shop, you're immediately going to turn around and sell it and make some profit out of it. It is what it is. It's just the way the world works. Just because a bunch of people who collect jumpers off people's backs get a little bit upset, unfortunately, doesn't rule the world or the way things work. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. It is what it is. But
It also is 10 o'clock and we still haven't eaten dinner.
we're moving along quickly, Em. We're nearly there.
Give me your phone. I can order dinner.
Matt,
Be ready by the time we're done.
next question. Em's getting hangry.
From Matt Harvey.
Oh, we just spoke about that, man.
Yeah. What is the next team you see prices inflating from where they are now? And subsequently, which team do you see prices coming down?
I think some of the teams' prices have already come down. So Richmond came down a lot this year since they started to not play amazingly well that they have since 2017. Their jumper prices went through the goddamn roof in that period. This time you can pick up some of their jumpers 300-400 out any issue, and a lot of the secondary market is a lot cheaper. So Richmond's already on the way down for sure, and if they continue to get worse on field, then their jumpers will just keep coming down in price. It's just the way it is. Success is what it is. Success, dictates the market. If a team is successful, they're gonna sell for more because there's gonna be more demand. If a team is no good, people don't want their shit. It's generally just how it works. It's going to be cheaper, or history as well. So North Melbourne sometimes sells for okay prices, but then history suggests that they, have a lot of it. So it will sell for a bit sometimes, but it's definitely not selling for as much as if they're winning. I do see Gold Coast Suns value going up if they win, and that's a big if. They may be out of the league in the next 5 years. Who knows? But if not, and they start winning, I see their value going much further up than it currently is, and it's actually not too bad at the moment. But yeah, who's those teams just slightly outside of the 8 right now? Who do you see coming into the 8 out of those teams just outside?
Well, obviously Carlton, I'm guessing will.
Well,
they fell only just out, so I'm guessing next year they'll be thereabouts. But I don't know if that'll affect their jumper sales because they were pretty.
100%.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Like even throughout the year they played pretty well anyway. So with that.
So the start of the year when they were winning, and everyone was up and about, they had an auction early, and those jumpers sold quite high. And then come the end of the year when they've already missed out, they had that giant auction. People were buying stuff one bid, and that was it. $300. You could get probably a quarter at least of those jumpers for one bid done. But if they had made the finals and they did that auction, you could bet your sweet ass they would be going through the roof. As soon as they realize, we're not in the finals, they're back to choking again. People just switched off and didn't want to buy their shit anymore. So hardcore collectors will still spend the money, and people collecting certain players will still happen. But just getting their hands on like that Matt Owies jumper, for instance, it's a great design. it's something that even last year or like just special designs always go for a lot of money. That one didn't because people didn't care anymore because they
Crazy.
lost.
Crazy.
So midway through the season, yeah, it still would have sold for a good amount of money, and the respects jumpers did sell for a shitload of money in the actual auction after round 16. But it's gone. Come that end of season sale, it didn't happen. So yes, Carlton start winning, their jumpers will go through the roof again. Richmond, same thing. They start winning, go through the roof.
Port, I think they were just outside, but
Yeah, so Port have always been an interesting one. They've always seemed to do well with our auctions. They do have a lot of end of season sales, locker room sales, mystery lottos, whatever you want to call them this time. So they've done well. Their resale is not particularly amazing anymore because there's so many out there. I guess that you can call that a flood. But the top end players, higher end players, and the older jumpers will always keep that high value. But then once they start winning again, they start coming into that top two, their auctions are going to get even higher again. So success bleeds money on field, off field, and of course in the jumpers range. So yeah, I do eventually see in Gold Coast value getting better once they start winning some football games.
or Tassie.
I mean, the Hawks started playing like shit as well in the last couple of years, and their value's not too bad. Yeah, there's always going to be clubs with tradition that'll always traditionally do well. One of them being Hawks. Like I say, you win more games, more money's there. Thank you, Matt. And Matt.
Yeah. Last one's from Anthony Lynch.
This is a long one too.
Yeah. What's your thought on perceived value on jerseys, and why do people think that a club sells for is concrete even though they continually move with the market trends also? Does this mean buyers need to pay inflated auction prices when jerseys are resold into the market? Does this mean a house is the same price forever? Is it all it's all identical, like it or not? Just seems people get grumpy that they can't have what they want with no effort. You either pay in time or money, one or the other.
Yeah, so this was another thing that came from the Freo sale. So the lotto page, they can do what they like. They make up their own rules. That's all well and good. They kind of said that they don't want to accommodate anybody who wants to put up any of the Freo auction or Freo in a season sale items because they don't want to encourage flipping. Cool, all good, no worries. But then it sort of started a debate, and the debate being that the eBay auctions then started as well, where people were buying Freddie long sleeve jumpers or the Brayshaws for $250, and they're putting them up for $620 and $750, and they were being absolute children over there. So that debate sparked
Because
with
we're hungry.
yeah. Look,
When's dinner?
I can feel all right. I can feel your
dinner.
hankering.
Want to go home.
Got a bunch of goddamn children on the side table.
Ah, damn it. Sorry.
Have a free shot too.
This is a serious question.
Lynchy.
It is a
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry, Lynchy.
I do apologise as well.
All right, so the debate started because people started complaining about the prices of these jumpers that the auction was started at. The debates are fair. Like you can have a debate on whatever you like. You literally anything can be debated. Like is something fair or is something reasonable, or everyone's got an opinion basically. And Lynchy's points are perfectly valid. Does a player then have to give away a jumper for free because the club gives it to them for free? No, they own the jumper. They can do whatever they like with it. If they want to charge you, like West Coast fans, for instance, $2,000 for a jumper because they know they get it, good on them. I know the club probably isn't particularly happy with it, but they do it. It happens a lot, not just West Coast, but a lot of other clubs. So no, they don't have to give away for free because they've got it for free. People who win raffles or prizes, it's free. Does that mean they have to give it on to the next person for free? No. There is still a value in these things. With these jumpers that we buy, there is no recommended retail price though. So that's the interesting thing is there is no set value. And it actually brings me back to the sale as well. Is I saw someone go up to the counter with a extra large Sean Darcy Indigenous jumper, $250, White Clash Indigenous. And then a medium, can't remember who the other jumper was, but it was a rookie. And it was $50. It was a medium. I think I said medium, can't remember. But his complaint and his argument was, I want an extra large to wear. Why am I paying $200 more for this extra large and you're charging $50 for a medium? This is extortionate. And I'm just sitting there going, what? Is this a thing? Like, this is actually an argument that someone's trying to have right now. And I could see the person behind the counter is just like, you are an idiot, but can't use those words. But I would have liked to have stepped in. But they answered pretty well. And the answer was simple as these jumpers in here do not have a recommended retail price. The prices are what we put on them, and there is a criteria as to why that is. Starts with the design. Is it a great design that is desired, and is there many of them out there? That's one. Two is the player, and this is the most important one, is the player. A Sean Darcy is going to be worth a lot more than a Queck. I don't remember his name, but Sebit Queck.
Oh, Quebec, yeah.
I should not have used him as a. He's okay. The Sean Darcy is worth a lot more than a Griffin Logue. Why? Numerous reasons. Sean Darcy is a All-Australian squad member nominee.
Doig medal.
A Doig medalist. And he's one of the premier ruckmen in the league. Griffin Logue is a traitor. So, and look, the club knows this, and I'm not saying that just to be a dick. This is true. Not necessarily a traitor because he just said, "Fuck you, Freo, I'm out of here." He made his decision and he left the club. Some people are incredibly loyal to the club and they stick around. I get it. Griffin wanted to go get some more money for a time that AFL doesn't last forever. And unless you're in that premier echelon of players, you're not set guaranteed money or game time. So he wasn't. So he had to do his thing. Always just off on a tangent there. But anyway, the point is, he wasn't a player that is set in stone. He's not someone who 150 people walk in that locker room and say, "Oh, I really want his jumper." Handful, maybe. I think I heard someone say, "I wanted the Griffin Logues," and everyone just shouted out, "You're the only one." Whereas a lot of people would walk in and go, "Oh my God, it's Sean Darcy, $250. Hell yeah, I'll buy that." So it's as simple as not everything is set in stone. This is not a price set. Like you have to sell this because of what it is being similar in a way, because things like a Darcy or a Port Adelaide jumper that's a Warren Treasure or something, it's set at a price that the person who owns it values it at for a reason, because that's how much they value it at. And quite often they value that because they don't want to sell it for any less. I do that with a lot of my stuff. If someone says, "Oh, would you sell me this?" I'll go, "Oh, yeah, maybe." And I'll put a price on it. If you're willing to pay this, I'll sell it to you. But if you're not interested, that to me is its value. Its value is what I've set it at. And if you pay that, sweet, continues that value. If you don't want to pay it, doesn't mean it's not worth it. It's worth it to me. Cool. It's just not worth it to you. That's fine. But like I said, there's no set values on this shit. Houses, it's a great example.
So even she doesn't know the price
Alexa's
of the
got no
jerseys
idea
either.
what's going on. Houses is a great example. Houses, like, even in the last 6 months, the interest rates are inflating, so therefore prices of houses are going up, and it's just getting more and more difficult. It's not easy to own shit nowadays. It's like a lot of people invest in these jumpers and they have to sell them because they're paying for other things like the houses prices are going up.
Live.
Just to live in general. So houses is a great example in the fact that if I bought this house for $255 2 years ago, does it mean I now have to sell this house for $255,000? We've actually put a lot of work into this house, and for us, we wouldn't settle for any less than, let's say, $320, just by example. So that's 60 grand more, 70 grand more than we actually paid for the thing. Is someone going to say, piss off, we paid 250 grand for this only 2 years ago. Why am I going to do that? It's the way it is, mate. Inflation, desirability, because housing is getting difficult. Same with jumpers. Like, yeah, okay, they were available on the day, and there may have been like shitloads of them on the day, but now that people have them in their collections that don't want to get rid of them, there's now not so many available. So you're going to have to pay. Simple as that. Yeah, very long-winded answer, but hopefully you get the point. There was a bit more in that I wanted to elaborate on. I can't remember what it was that he said. The Kings game behind me has ended. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and follow and see what happened there because I didn't see any of it. There's a bit in there that Lynchy said towards the end. You just read that a little bit out.
Just seems people get grumpy that they can't have what they want with no effort. You either pay in time or money, one or the other.
Okay, well, I mean that's exactly right. So
what's what we're talking about in line.
Exactly, we pay that effort by being there in line, and then we also paid it in cash. But there were a lot of people that lined up, which I guess because I do go in expecting to spend so much money, it still confuses me that people do line up for 8-9 hours to then go in and spend $1,000 and grab 4 or 5 jumpers. When in my mind, I'm like, there's no way I'd go in just to grab 4 or 5 jumpers and be there that long. But they've made a commitment that they know if they want the best of the best or they want certain jumpers, they have to be there a certain time. They have to take a certain amount of money and they give them their best effort to get it. If they then decide to sell them, they made that effort 12 hours for you to get on Facebook and go, yeah, all right, I'll take it. Not to bitch about it and say, why would I pay that? When they made all that effort to get you that jumper, which could have then disappeared into oblivion, and you may never see it again because someone's put it in their cupboard and eventually it's got moss through it and eaten it and gone forever. It's out there to give you another opportunity to own it.
Mm.
I mean, what more can you ask? I mean, I've done it. I've bought jumpers post auctions or post sales that people have marked up $100 just because I missed out. They got it. All right, I've got to pay for it.
Finder's
I didn't
fee,
bitch.
almost.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't bitch about it. I just went and paid for it. If you want something that badly, you're gonna have to pay. Eventually, if they can't sell it, they'll realize that they've got too much on it and drop it or whatever. But make your offers, do what you got to do. But if they don't want to sell it, they don't have to as well. So if someone owns something, they can put whatever value on it. It's simple. Like that's really the only way to answer that question. Well, yeah, basically, is if someone has something and you want it bad enough, you're probably going to have to go a bit higher than you would expect to.
Yeah, and just because you think it's high, and someone else might not.
Well,
so again, it's the very much what I think it's worth and what you think it's worth is what someone will pay for it.
Yeah, and that's a very good point because I got offered a Clive Waterhouse 1998 away 3D anchor jumper a few years ago. And I made the mistake of thinking it was too high when I got offered for $1,000. And at that point, that market probably suggested it was. People could see the future, obviously, because they can see that right now those jumpers be going $2,000 plus. But I thought, oh, no, it's a bit high. I'm probably going to pass on that. And I did. Thinking, oh, crazy people asking $1,000 for that. That's ridiculous. Well, I only paid $350 for mine. What? That's stupid. So I was potentially one of those people in that moment. Funny thing is, he sold that jumper a couple of days later for that price. So yeah, it may not have been in my thought process at the time that it's worth that. It was to somebody else, and they bought it. So hello, Amber, you've joined us.
Searching.
Okay.
On your Carlton's respects.
All right.
Jump on.
Sure.
So the boys are wearing orange socks and the orange on the jumpers. For the 5th annual AFL Carlton Respects game, in order to raise awareness for gender equality for the prevention of violence against women. Orange is the international colour for harmony, and the club will use the week not only to highlight the issue of domestic violence, but to promote healthy relationships and the important roles these play in creating a safe and equal and loving space for all. On average, 1 woman a week is murdered by a current or former partner, while 1 in 3 women have experienced physical violence since the age of 15.
There you go. 5th annual. I did not realize that. I honestly thought this was the first one they did. No, they've definitely worn orange socks before, so yeah, I should have realized that. But it's the first time they've actually had orange, I believe, anyway, on the jumpers throughout. So
That's what that's for.
yeah, thanks for that. We thought you were just having a nap.
No, I was looking it up.
Is that it, Matt? Is that all the questions done?
That is done and dusted, mate.
Done and dusted. That's going to bring us to our final segment. Not food, just yet. A final segment of What's in the Cave. What's going on out there? Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did hear that actually.
Crikey.
Check our cameras.
Em's going to check camera. Wait, I need you to actually go find the jumper, but I'll jump over the wheel first. So let's jump over the wheel while Em's checking the cameras because something just went bang outside. Sound a bit scary. All right, let's give it a spin. Matt, what do you reckon? What number are we going to get?
I'm going to go with
22.
368.
368. M's got 22. I'm going with
I hope it's not
117. I think I said that last time.
All is good in the hood.
Oh, I was close. 91. We just skipped 111. That's why I said it was close. So number 91, M.
What did we say was exactly in this cupboard?
Well, it's changed now, probably.
God damn it.
Unlucky.
We'll be back shortly. M is off to find number 91. Eb's just started up some music for us. Actually, you're not going to be able to hear that. Can you put it up to the mic? Okay, and you can continue. We'll be back shortly. All right, we're back. M's found jumper number 91. It was 91, wasn't it? All right, 91. You don't have to hide it because it's on me right now, so it's all good. They're in there like hiding it really, but don't let anyone see. 91. M, you said I'm going to enjoy this. Unfortunately, a lot of the viewers won't because it is still a Freo jumper, but it's special. What I've seen, Matthew. Yeah.
I've never heard you call him Matthew before. That's really weird.
All right. Oh, I'm buzzing. Matt, we're ready to flick over to you. Jumper number 91 is this beauty. This is a 2019 Fremantle Dockers retro round jumper. So this is the first one. This is where it started with the retro of the current iterations anyway. 2019, we actually did a poll on the Player Issue Podcast Facebook page for the club on what jumper do we think that the viewers would like to see on field. And this is the one that came second. The away jumper won in a landslide. But because they were playing at home, the club decided that they would go with the the home jumper. Obviously, the very next year, that changed. Well, sorry, not next year, because I didn't do one in 2020, but 2021, that changed because it absolutely landslide victory, the away jumper. So that did change. So 2019, home jumper was used. So the original 1995 anchor, this was that iteration in 2019. So it's gorgeous. It's a special one, this one as well. This one is match worn, and it is match worn by the GOAT. Turn him around, Matt. That was pretty sweet. That was sweet. We wouldn't have heard him say that, but he did say that. Look how sweet that was.
I'll just hand him my notice now.
So, this is worn by David Mundy in around 22, I want to say, 21. I can't remember now. Again, there's a disclaimer up because I'm an idiot. Didn't research. I don't research these jumpers. I've got to try and go off what I know about them. Worn against Essendon It was a victory to Essendon, unfortunately. We're 2-1 or 1-2 in the retro round, so maybe we need to stop wearing them actually. He didn't sign that on the day, so all the match worns that were auctioned off, they weren't signed. He got them unsigned. I obviously am mates with David, so he did sign that for me only probably 2 days later. He used a shit pen, so the signature's not fantastic. But he also did have a good game that day as well. Freo did not. But that is the very start of the Freo Retro in their current situation. There will be a 2023 Retro jumper as well for those asking. And I do know what it's going to be. No, you will not find out until it is announced. So don't ask me. Thanks, Matt. The Forever Freo 25-year logo. So that logo was obviously being 2019, was Fremantle Dockers' 25th anniversary. In round 1 of that year, that exact logo was on the Freo jumper instead of the chevrons. So fun fact there, if you have a look at those jumpers, you'll see that 25, if you probably wouldn't even see that as a 25, but it kind of looks like a downward pointing arrow. But because it's on the red and the green side, you can see it is a 2 and a 5. So yeah. So that is the anniversary logo that used in 2019. Gorgeous jumper. Still had the ISC feather material, and it's beautiful. And I do miss ISC. Yeah. Thanks for that. That's good. Good. Very good. I know what's going on with Em. Her eyes are through the roof right now.
Food.
So while Em
She's
was
got a
looking
little bit of crazy in those eyes.
Yeah, while Em was looking for the jumpers, myself and Matt were deciding what we're going to eat. So we've decided we just got to order it now. So with that, it's going to bring us to the close. We're over. We're done. Finished. Finito. Em, thank you for joining me. You were very quiet today. Not your usual self. Fantastic. Matt.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. It's actually been quite a delight being here.
I feel like you could be thought. Go on.
You go.
As I said,
I'm curious.
I almost feel like you could commentate golf.
Oh.
You just had that demeanor and just that real.
I just want to play it cool today. I don't know exactly where, I was waiting for M just to spark up. I just wanted to be just a little guy in the corner, just for nothing, mate, nothing. Just I might have to come back on again. I don't know.
You're gonna have to. I think
Viewers might not like it, but you know what? Get stuffed. I'm playing on. No, I'm joking. I swear.
He's not at all. And I think with that bombshell, we're done for the day. So thank you, Matt, for joining me. Thank you, Em. We are out of here to go get some dinner. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on episode 7 next week. Ta-ta. Ta-ta. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Bye.